It is a balmy 79 degrees here in Houston today, and it's just so fall-like. So I decided I'd wear my fall sweater. It's brand new. And that's also probably why I wanted to wear it, because I just got it and it needed to be worn. I may sweat in the video today. Just act like it's normal. I'm trying to look like I'm cool and chilled, and I'm not at all. But I have a pretty sweater on, so there's that. Y'all spoke and I heard you, and you want to see more of my books. So that's what we're gonna do today. We are gonna discuss backstories. I'm gonna show you some of the things that I've made. You're gonna laugh, I'm gonna cringe, and it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It'll be a good time. Now, the books I've chosen today, these are my odd books. These are books that you probably are not gonna wanna make something out of all the time. But I got them because I couldn't help myself, and I myself am kinda odd. I'm not sure if you have been able to tell that, but I think differently, and I am not bright enough to keep some of those things quiet. I actually say them out loud, and that can be a problem. It is in my real life. The books I'm going to show you today are those quirky books. They are some of my favorites though. I have worked out of almost every book, but I'm going to show you some of the things I have made, and those we're going to cringe at because they were early on in the journey. The things that are early on in the journey are very cringe-worthy, and I actually have given a lot of them away to Goodwill. I am sure they were thrown away, and that is all right. My feelings are not hurt in the least. I would throw it out too, and I did. That's why I gave it to them. I didn't want to take responsibility for actually throwing it away, so I'm putting that onus on those people. They can throw them away, and I don't feel bad because in my mind, I'm thinking I'm giving this to people who may want this ugly thing. And I bet they saw it and they thought, there is nobody that wants this ugly thing. Let's go ahead and get started with my quirky books. If you are a person of my age group, say the late 70s, 80s, and I am almost positive before that time, you went into a bathroom, specifically a grandmother's bathroom, and there was more likely than not a doll on the back of the toilet staring at you while you went to the bathroom, or it was sitting on a counter staring at you while you went to the bathroom. Does anybody else have that memory of a creepy doll staring at them in a bathroom, and that doll was covering up a roll of toilet paper, and that was considered decoration? Anyone? That would be me. My grandmother had a doll sitting on the back of her toilet in a lovely blue dress, and it was just half a doll because the reservoir was gone to make room for the roll of toilet paper it was sitting on. Why was that a thing? Why did people think this is a very cute piece of decor? Why? The world may never know. Similar to a Tootsie Pop Center, we don't know how many licks it's gonna take to get there. We're not gonna ever find out this answer, but for some reason, that was an extremely sought after bathroom decor item of the 70s, 80s era, probably 60s. I don't know. I don't go back that far. I would if I could. No, I really wouldn't. I'm really not enjoying this phase of life that I'm in. But anyways, for those of you who were back there in the 60s, were they there too? So this book I got to remember my grandmother because I wanted to give my children the same memory that my grandmother gave me, except this would be a memory from their mother. And that makes it even more special. And that book is Amigurumi toilet paper covers. And the author is Linda Wright. Somebody actually made this book. And I think we could be friends because I bet this person was also scarred as a child and felt the need to scar future generations. And I kind of like that kind of sadism. I really do. Now this book is really cute. I was going to try to make something for the video, but I just didn't have time to give you an example. One of the lovely designs in this book. And these aren't anywhere nearly as creepy as the doll that was in my grandmother's bathroom, because that doll, her eyes opened and closed. These are just safety eyes. They're going to stay open all the time, which You can look at that two ways. It is constantly watching you, or these don't have the lifelike feature of being able to close their eyes. But in here, there are all kinds of actually really cute patterns. There is a birthday cake, though I'm not really sure why you would have a birthday cake toilet paper cover roll. I guess a party? I don't know, I think that's a little strange. There's also a cupcake. Again, why would we think about having food in the bathroom over toilet paper? I don't know. There are seasonal ones, like a Santa Claus hat. There's a train, a sunflower, a little car. Those would be adorable in a kid's bathroom. Not creepy at all. There's a teddy bear, a cow, a coffee mug again. Why are we having articles of food or drink in the bathroom, covering up the roll of toilet paper? I have questions. If you have answers, leave me an answer. I would like to know why we would have fake food items in the bathroom. Just say. There is a cat. The cat is really actually very cute. It doesn't look anything like a roll of toilet paper. It has legs and a tail, and it's very cute. A snowman. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I love snowmen. I would probably put this guy in my bathroom. I have a snowman addiction. And the reason for my addiction is snowmen are fat, and it is okay. It is like the bigger the snowman is, the more people love it. I wish we thought like that about actual people. Me as a chubby person, because I'm a chubby person, you don't see what's down below the table. I'm a chubby person. That people think this little chubby guy, 3 big rolly balls sitting on top of each other is precious. I have them all over my house at Christmas time, and it's because I can see little fluffy things all over my house, and it's cute. So I consider myself cute when I look at those little fluffy snowmen, because I think he has found the key to how we can make this cute. So I would actually do the snowman. There's sushi. There's a chicken. Why? I have questions. There's a frog. It is a boy and a girl frog, like a married froggy couple that you'd put in your bathroom. But it's a really cute book. I think it would be a fun one to have if maybe you want to make some memories for others that are slightly demented. This is a wonderful book to add. My next 2 books are by the same author, and I chose these 2 by this individual because they're kind of quirky, and also because this author is a guy. I really like the fact that this fella has taken on crochet and just run with it, and he has a lot of books, and that is the Not Monster books. Not Monster books. And his real life name is Michael Michael. His name's Michael. Michael is a pediatric dentist, and he does this in his off time. And I think that's really neat. He is prolific. He has a ton of books out there. I've seen a dessert book, a chemistry book. I have 2 of his plant books and a cactus book, I think. I have found some number errors in there, but they're things I can work around. It's not a big deal to me. He self-publishes, I believe, through Amazon, and I'm just proud of him. So I'm happy to support Michael C. Not Monster. This one, I have worked one thing out of it, and I will only work one thing out of this book because once was enough. And that book is his balloon animal crochet book. He has 12 different amigurumi patterns in here for balloon animals, and they're really neat and cute until you make one. And it has nothing to do with his patterns, but basically you are making a tube, a very long tube that looks like an intestine. And then you take that intestine and you wrap it up and you turn it into an animal. I was never so tired of making a tube in my life. And I've made a lot of tubes. I mean, every arm and a leg, they're all tubes. But this tube, actually, this intestine, it's long. Now I'm gonna show you what I made. And you're gonna think that I made this very early on in my journey, and that is not true. I made this summer. This was recent that I did this monstrosity. Part of it is the yarn I chose. Why I chose it, I don't know. I don't even know why I bought this yarn, to be honest with you. I was hot, and I think the thought of fruit cooled me off a little bit, though I've never had this fruit that I bought. I just think it's kind of pretty. So I don't even know what this fruit tastes like, but I thought I needed this kind of fruit yarn. And that yarn is the Dragon Fruit yarn by Premier. This is a poodle. Doesn't it look like a poodle? It doesn't. That's okay, but it is. This is a poodle made out of dragon fruit yarn. It is so ugly. I keep it hidden in a container on my shelf. If you look back at my organizing my craft room video, when I talk about the things I pack away to never see the light of day, this is one of those, never sees the light of day. The next chance I get for the Goodwill bag, this is going in it, and somebody else can make the option of whether this thing lives in someone else's home or in a trash can. Either one of those is fine. I am okay with that, but I'm gonna let them make the decision for me because I don't make decisions well, other than I know I don't want to keep it. If you like balloon animals, they're great patterns. Just know you're making a very long intestine and then tying it up into shape. And if you are kind of disgusted by intestines, you might not want the book. It's up to you. They're cute. There's nothing wrong with the patterns, absolutely not, but I will never make another one again. The next Not Monster book by Michael C. is his Reversibles book. And Reversibles are basically a pattern that it doesn't have any filling in it. So you crochet one thing on one side and then you sew them together, and the other side is something else, and then you can turn them in and out. And I think that is so cool. So this book, he has 10 reversible amigurumi. I've yet to get to make anything out of here. There is a ghost that one side is a happy ghost, the other side is kind of a dead ghost. Deader than the regular ghost. It's deader than that one. Then there is an owl and you flip it and it's an egg. There is a frog and you flip it and it's a tadpole. There is butterfly and you flip it and it's a caterpillar. Then there's a cute little top hat and you flip it and it's a rabbit, like a little rabbit pops out of the hat. Just all really cute. I just love the concept of these. I am excited to make something out of here. I just haven't gotten around to it because you know what I'm gonna say, time. I don't have time always, but these I think would be really quick to work up and just so cute. And I think these would sell really well at a market. I never see anybody make these things, but Reversibles I think are some of the cutest things out there, and you're not having to use fiber fill. So in a way it's a little bit cheaper. And these would also be really cute, I think, in plush yarn. I think they'd be really adorable. The Reversibles book. It's a cute one. Now this next book is not even amigurumi. And I just got this book like a week or two ago, and it was on my Amazon list for forever. I'd been watching this book. I do enjoy making blankets from time to time, but I get extremely tired of doing the same stitch over and over again. So I really like blankets that give a little bit of texture. That's why I like amigurumi, is because you're doing one piece and you finish it pretty fast and you move on to the next piece. That's why I enjoy that. I might have ADHD. A little bit, just a little bit. This book is Mix and Match Modern Crochet Blankets, and it's 100 patterned and textured strips for thousands of unique throws. Now, I have never seen a book like this. And the cool thing about this particular book is each of these different sections in a blanket, they're worked by themselves. And they are not worked long ways like you do a typical blanket. They are worked in short rows, and then you take the long side and you would sew it onto the other pieces you're working, if that makes sense. That fascinated me. And so I was like, I needed this book. And you can add all these different colors, all these different textures. You're not just doing the same thing over and over and over again. It just looks beautiful. And I'm so excited to do something out of this. So this is a book. If you are wanting something to do around Christmas time, while you're with family, and you want to be working on something where you can be talking and working on a piece at the same time because you're intelligent and you can count your stitches that way, then I think this would be a really fun book to have. And it is by Esme Crick. I can't wait to do something out of this. Back to amigurumi we go. Now these next two books, they don't always pop up if you're doing like an Amazon search. You kind of have to know to put in the name. I don't know whether they're not extremely popular or what, and they should be extremely popular. I love these two books, and it's probably because I love weird little creatures, and these are weird little creatures. These two books are Amigurumi Monsters 1 and 2. And these books are similar to the Amigurumi books, where it's a different pattern designer for each creation. So you're getting to work patterns in various different ways by different people, which I love to do because I love to see how everyone builds their pieces. Everyone is different, and I just like seeing all the different styles. And this book is great for that because there's some very unique little critters in here. Now I have made this one. This is Speed. And Speed has detachable eyes. As I've said previously, I am a former teacher for blind and visually impaired children, and I have had kids that have prosthetic eyes, so their eyes come out. They're made of plastic usually, and my mother has prosthetic eyes. I will never touch one of them though. I refuse to touch a plastic eye. No, there's a limit of things I can do, and that's one of them is touching eyes. But I would touch a yarn eye, and I've touched the yarn eye of this fellow Speed because one of my friends actually commissioned him, and he is actually a really big toy. He was large, but I loved making him. And with that little snowflake thing on his tummy, it makes him look kind of Christmassy. You could do him in red and green colors and have this sit under your Christmas tree and pop an eye out or something. That's probably not very Christmassy, but he'd be cute. He's got a snowflake. Another one of my favorites in this book, her name is Little Ella. She looks like Boo from the Monsters, Inc. movies, and she's just so cute. And she's inside her little monster costume. It's just such a cute little pattern. Now this particular pattern, if you are a mother, this one speaks to you. And if you have multiple children, or even if you're not a mother, but you have pets and you have multiple pets, this one probably will speak to you too. And this one is Monster Mama. And Monster Mama, she has some crazy hair. I mean, she looks like she's been through tough times, and she's got big ol' eyes and eyelashes that almost look like eyebrows, and she probably needed to pluck them, but they're eyelashes. They're eyelashes, not eyebrows. And then she's got multiple arms, and in each arm there's a baby because she had a lot of babies, and she looks so tired. And I feel her. I completely understand her look of exhaustion. Just looking at those children like, what have you done to me? Sometimes I look at my children like that. What have you done to me? Because there are things happening to my body now that are just not pleasant. And I think it's because of the children, honestly. I have also made Yum Yum. Now Yum Yum has actually been hired by his school to go and collect all the junk food from the other kids so that they don't eat it, because it doesn't affect him the same way as it does the other kids. And that way, all the other kids only have healthy food. He is sacrificing himself for the health of the other kids. I would do that. I would sacrifice to take all the cookies and chocolate bars from the other kids. I'd make the sacrifice too. Yum Yum and I are probably spirit animals. So definitely, if you like weird little quirky creatures, this one's a fun one to do. And in Amigurumi Monsters 2, it's more of similar creations. And in here I have made this guy. His name is Mr. Orange, and I made him for my son. This was also early in the journey. He's okay. I'd probably do him a little differently now. I have also made Tippy Toe Monster, and this is another little creation that has multiple eyes. Now her eyes stay in her head. They are sewn on, but there's 3 of them. If we all had that many eyes, can you imagine everything we could get done? Well, we'd need arms. And she has tentacles. I don't think they work the same though. I think it's just a really cute little pattern. And it was very easy, quick to work up. Another great one to add to your list. Now the last book, and this one I chose because it's kind of weird little creatures. I believe this one came out last year, and I've seen it spoken about a lot in some other videos, and it is A Crochet World of Creepy Creatures and Cryptids by Ricky Gustafson. And this has 40 amigurumi patterns in it, and they're all kind of weird little mythical creatures, a cyclops, werewolf, an alien, a zombie, and none of them are really scary. I think they are kind of a cuter version of some scarier creatures, but they are kind of neat, creepy kind of creatures if you're looking for something kind of odd for Halloween. Krampus, there's a fairy, Medusa. I like her because there's all the little heads and eyes. If you're looking for another little creepy creatures book, this is probably a good resource to have. And that is it for today. 7 books, and I'll put a link to all of them in the description box below. I hope these have given you some ideas of some things you might want to try, some new books to add to your list, and maybe some that you would like to scar family members and small children with. Thanks again for joining me here on the Rumi Mill, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.